the Washington Gymnastics Rewind on UWTV. This exciting format will give you a look into the 2011 Husky Gymnastics team like never before. We're cutting out the opponents, the downtime, and the fluff, and just showing you the best the Huskies have to offer on the vault, bars, beam, and floor. UW opened their home season on January 21st against Boise State, Illinois State, and Seattle Pacific, and we will get things started tonight on the vault. Some things to watch for. Huskies want great height, distance, and good landings. We will see that from sophomore transfer Meg Whitney. Do a Yurchenko layout half, a big step on the landing, but a good starting vault. That score, a 9.675. Next up, sophomore Kylie Sharp saw action in 4 meets last season on the vault. Now Yurchenko layout full, 2 large steps back, not quite the height that they want on that vault. Her score, a 9.6. You'll see another Yurchenko full from Aliza Vaccher, freshman from Eugene, Oregon. Great height, but a big step back. Coach Bauer says she could be one of the best gymnasts on the vault for the Huskies this season, rewarded with a 9.65. Now sophomore Lauren Rogers out of Plains, Pennsylvania. A great vaulter on the UW team. Really nice height and a great body position, but again, that big hop back gives her a 9.8. Now junior Amanda Cline, recovering from ankle surgery, hasn't done enough vaults in practice to really be consistent, but hits this one so well. A Yurchenko layout half, just a small hop on that landing, gets a 9.8. You'll see she's 5'6", a taller frame, and just flies off the vault, a very straight body, and just the smallest of hops. And the anchor, senior co-captain Haley Bogart from Woodside, California, was all-conference on this event in 2008. And Haley's Yurchenko layout full, a big step back, but a good vault for the senior, a 9.775 for her, gives the Huskies a 48.7 on the event. Coming up will be the bars for the Huskies, where they rank number 1 in the country as a team. Lauren Rogers in her second event of this night. Now Lauren is first in the lineup for a very specific reason. She is extremely consistent on the event, doesn't have a major release move, but does her moves flawlessly. The judges have very little deductions they can take. A double front dismount, a small step back, and was given a 9.7. Next up, freshman Aliza Vaccher, making her Husky debut on the bars. Like Lauren before her, has a safe routine, no major release moves, but does all of the moves so well. Great toe point and extension, and good handstand positions. It's a difficult full twisting double back dismount, a step back, and a 9.725 for her Husky bar debut. Our first look at junior Hatsune Akaogi out of Cupertino, California. Very dynamic bar worker, ranked 23rd in the country on the event. Has a lot of high flying release moves like that pack salto. Her double front dismount, small step forward, a great routine for Hats, a 9.775. Fellow junior Ruby Engreitz out of Kirkland, Washington, coming off setting a career high in the first meet of the season with a 9.875, opens with a sky-high Ginger. Ranked 7th in the country after the first week competition. Has one of the most difficult bar routines on the Husky team. Has a great combination of difficult skills that is capped off with this dynamic dismount, a full twisting double layout, one of the most difficult done in the country. And she nails it. A stuck landing with her legs together, straight body. She's given a 9.875. And senior co-captain Sam Walior hails from Prior Lake, Minnesota. Like Ruby, coming off a career high from the previous week with a 9.9. You'll see 3 high-flying release moves from her, starting with that Jaeger, down to that bail handstand. She's added some difficulty in her senior year. That Tkachev release move at the end of her routine takes a lot of endurance. It's a double front dismount and a 9.8 for the senior on the bars. Huskies anchored by Kristen Linton, co-captain out of Edmonds, Washington. Like Sam, matched a career high the week before with a 9.9. There's a lot of different looking moves on the bars. Stalter work, inverted positions. Very long, clean lines. She's won 7 event titles in her time at the U. And a stuck landing on her full twisting double back, also given a 9.8. Another great bar set for the Huskies. Nice to see a stick at the end. That's the last impression the judges have of your routine. And Kristen lands it so well. Huskies end up with a 48.975. Huge score for them on the bars. Next event, Huskies head over to the nerve-wracking balance beam. At this point in the competition, they were neck and neck with Boise State, and beam is the event that will set teams apart. It's all about counting no falls. In the college gymnastics format, 6 people compete and you count 5 scores. And Joanne Bowers is lucky to have this gymnast, sophomore Paige Bixler out of Rowlett, Texas, so consistent on this event. One of the Huskies' top beam workers during her freshman year. Beautiful back handspring layout series. She set the new freshman record with a 9.925, which was the highest score by any Husky all season. There's a lot of difficulty throughout her routine. Only error in this beam routine is that slight arm waver on her full turn. Other than that, so clean, working so smoothly. Paige ends her routine, a gainer pike and a stuck landing, a 9.8 to lead off the Huskies. Sets up Meg Whitney, her first college beam performance. She's out of Mesa, Arizona. Competed for the Desert Devils Club along with freshman Aliza Vaccher. Has nice flexibility and extension on the beam. Back handspring layout series and a small wobble there. Judges can take anywhere from a 1/2 tenth to a 3/10 deduction on a wobble like that. But they also pay attention to artistry, the flow of the routine, the dance elements. Meg has great flexibility, really nice toe point, and will be rewarded for that. She's just had a few slight balance checks throughout this routine. Like Paige does a gainer pike dismount off the end. And as just a small step, Meg was rewarded with a 9.65. Hatsune Akaogi, now known to Hats to her teammates, competed on every event in every meet of her Husky career until this meet, breaking a streak by not competing on the vault, resting a sore Achilles. Nice hitch front there, just a small balance check. Those tend to add up throughout the routine. Judges want to see secure and firm landings. Again, an arm waver there. Hats is known for difficulty throughout her routine. That side summy. Judges like to see the difficulty spread out through the routine, not all pushed at the front or towards the back. Hats definitely has great balance throughout. Very difficult leap combination there. The leaps and the dance elements are worth as much as the acrobatic elements are just as important. Hats with a huge round-off double twist. Again, stumbles around on that landing. Just a lot of places for deductions during that routine. And she's given a 9.625. Now, sophomore Lauren Rogers, she will mount the beam with a punch front, a very difficult way to start your routine. Perfectly done front flip there. Coach Bauer said that in practice, she's improved the most on the team in terms of consistency and performance. But she isn't able to stay on that tumbling series. Her hips got offline. They call it keeping your hips square. And it's impossible to save when you are off center. So what a fall like that does is put pressure on the rest of your lineup. And pressure on her to finish this routine with no other falls. Just a dismount left. And comes back nicely. Sticks her front full, but is given just a 9.25. So the next two Huskies, Aliza Vaccher and Sam Walior, were under a lot of pressure. Tough situation to be in for the freshman, Aliza Vaccher. But luckily for the Huskies and Coach Bowers, she's the reigning junior national beam champion. Has extreme difficulty, like that series, a front aerial right into a back handspring layout. She's not only consistent, but she also has arguably the most difficulty of any Husky on the event. Has the potential to score very high. This upcoming series was a new one added by Aliza. She'll dance a switch leap right into a gainer layout somersault, just a small balance check. Aliza also performs one of the most difficult dismounts. She will tumble on the beam backwards into a double twist. Now, judges can also take deductions for gymnasts waiting too long for a skill. And a huge stumble back there. Those stumbles gave her just a 9.5. So added pressure on senior co-captain Samantha Walior. She has been an incredibly consistent competitor for the UW on this event throughout her career, has been in the anchor spot for most of the time. Has a career high on the event of a 9.9, which she set last season. She also won one beam title during the 2010 campaign. Like Aliza, she'll do what they call a triple flight series, 3 moves in a row here. 2 back handsprings into a layout step out, perfectly landed. Just slight knee bends throughout that series are the only deductions that the judges will be able to take. That move there called a ring leap. She takes her eyes off the balance beam, throws her head back. Extremely difficult to land. Done very well. Like I mentioned, those jumps and dance elements, just as difficult as the tumbling, but nothing in her routine as difficult as this dismount. Double twisting gainer off the side. Such a great exclamation point to that routine. Sam was given a 9.775. Husky beam total, a 48.35. We will take a break here and come back for the fourth and final floor rotation on the University of Washington Gymnastics Rewind. We are back, UW-TV Gymnastics Rewind, with freshman Aliza Vaccher starting out the Huskies floor rotation. Final routine of the night for Vaccher, who's the only Husky in this meet to compete on all 4 events. Takes a lot of stamina, takes a lot of concentration to shift your focus from event to event so quickly. Aliza mounts with a beautiful double pike, a little bit of a large step back. Floor of the event where the gymnasts get to show off their personality, have some fun in the dance. Like on beam, just as important as the tumbling is those dance elements. Gymnasts typically perform 3 tumbling passes during their routine. Aliza's second, a front tumbling pass, a front layout into a front layout full, very nicely done. Just 1 pass left for the freshman. A 1.5 punch layout, very nicely done. A great first home meet for freshman Aliza Vaccher, rewarded with a 9.75 on that event. Now Husky sophomore Paige Bixler. Just saw her do a dynamic beam routine, and now she'll channel Michael Jackson in this floor routine. This was Paige's first time in the Husky lineup on floor. Opens with a double pike, just a slight step forward on that landing. The judges want you to land perfectly upright. Great quality about Paige on this event is her showmanship, her dance performance, her leaps. Second pass for Paige. A whip back to a 1.5 twist. She has the dance, she has the performance quality, but needs to improve the tumbling, needs to improve the difficulty and the execution. Gymnastics runs in Paige's family. Her dad was a gymnast at Eastern Michigan. One of 2 Texans on the Husky roster, also freshman Laura Albright. And a punch Rudy to finish. Again, a little bit low on the landing, but a great Husky floor debut for Paige Bixler, given a 9.75. Sophomore Phoebe Tham next. First performance of the year for the 5'4" gymnast out of North Vancouver, British Columbia. As a freshman, she competed twice on this event. Like Paige, great dance performance and good presentation. There's her double pike. Again, low on the landing, stumbles forward a bit. Now you'll see that mat on the floor. The gymnasts are allowed to have a mat on the floor with no deduction. Protects their ankles and legs as they pound on those tumbling passes. Phoebe's second half, whip half front full. Very nicely done. beautiful dancer, very long lines. Lacks a little bit of extension in those leaps. That will be a deduction, something that she'll continue to work on throughout the season. Early in the year, Coach Bowers plays with the lineups, who fits best where, what makes the scores rise the most. So gives a lot of gymnasts experience early in the year. A great routine for Phoebe, given a 9.65. The end of the lineup, the scores tend to rise. Captain Sam Walior here, always a crowd favorite on the floor. She and teammate Kristen Linton qualified for the NCAA championships on this event. Double pike somersault, lands with her chest a bit low. A front 1.5 Rudy somersault. Some form breaks in the air. Sam was all conference on this event in 2008 and 2009. Just a final tumbling pass early in the season, testing your endurance on these long floor routines. Front layout full, perfectly landed. A great floor routine for Sam Walior to finish her meet is given a 9.8, the second best score of the evening for the Huskies. Second routine of the night for junior Ruby Engreitz, local product out of Kirkland. Attended the Leading Edge Gymnastics Academy. The nursing sore ankles, so doesn't get the tumbling repetition that she needs. Opens with a very high double pike. Great landing there. Very nice execution in the air. Ruby coming off a disastrous first meet at UCLA on this event. Fell twice. So mentally, always a hurdle to get back on that event that gave you trouble. And that second pass, front layout full, squats that landing, will be about a 3 to 4/10 deduction. Stays on her feet though, the fall's again worth 0.5 tenth. Has a difficult final tumbling pass here. We'll do 2.5 twists. Very well done, just a slight step off center for the junior, Ruby Engreitz. Is given a 9.65, a great bounce back from her first meet on the floor. And now the final Husky of the night, senior anchor Kristen Linton, as I mentioned, qualified for the NCAA championships on this event last season. Has a different style from most of the Huskies, very fluid, artistic. Kristen, also a local product out of Edmonds, Washington, competed for the Seattle Gymnastics Academy. A front double full there, very nicely done. Crosses her legs in the air a bit. That will be the deduction from the judges. Kristen has great execution in her dance and earns a lot of bonus points on her leaps and jumps. More than in her tumbling. Her tumbling is so technically good, the judges have very little they can deduct. But it's moves like that, those jumps, that give her extra bonus during these routines. She won 4 titles in her junior season and was the top Husky from week 1 of the 2011 season. Just her final pass, a Rudy into a Shushinova, has to change directions and is given a 9.85, the top Husky on floor during their first home meet. That wraps up a great floor rotation for the Huskies in their first meet. Linton's 9.85 gives the Huskies a 48.8 team score to secure the upset over Boise State in their first home meet of the 2011 season. A 194.825 team score was the final for the Huskies. And we hope you tune in next time, Saturday, January 29th, as the Huskies take on Cal Bears in the UW-TV Gymnastics Rewind.